Hi, I'm Lindsay Moore, and welcome to my podcast, In Conversation with SMEs. I'm the founder of Agnes Marketing, and we help professional services businesses to win more clients through strategic, organised and effective marketing. The purpose of this podcast is to provide motivation, inspiration and advice to people who are wanting to start, scale or pivot their business by hearing the stories of others who have been brave, kept their nerve and achieved something quite remarkable. Enjoy. So in this episode, I chat to Beth Wainwright, who is the founder of Boosted, an overnight success brand that launched on TikTok Shop, selling out of her 80 rolls of boob tape. And then Beth realised, could be onto something here. 2.5 years later, she is listed by PrettyLittleThing with lots of exciting expansion plans in the offing with other retailers. She talks about her highs, her lows, her wish I'd knowns, starting from her own bedroom to becoming the business it is today. And I can't wait for you to hear what she has to say. Hi Beth, thank you for being here. It's really, really lovely to see you. I have been looking forward to interviewing you because we met only last year, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like blown away by the rapid speed and success of Boosted. So before we get into that, can you just tell us a bit about Boosted and what the business is?
So Boosted started off as just a boob tape brand, not even 3 years ago. So 2 and a bit years. We just sold 6 shades of boob tape. It was suitable up to an A to a K cup. We then moved into nipple petals quite quickly. Removal oil came really quickly because people weren't removing it correctly. And then now we've developed into a whole range of anti-chafe balms, lip balms, boob masks. Basically, I want to be that girl in a bathroom on a night out that has everything in her handbag and she lets you use it all. Everything that you need, Boosted will have.
So for those who might not be familiar with boob tape or what it does, just explain the benefits of it and what instance you would use it.
So boob tape looks really scary and it's really not. It's just a bra replacement. So I'm a larger bust myself and strapless bras are really painful. I'm not the size that can get away with them stick-on ones either. So anything with low cut, strapless, backless, anything that saves you wearing a bra, Boosted and boob tape is what's there to save your outfit.
Okay, so have you always used boob tape? Tell us how Boosted came about then as a business.
So younger, I always hated my body anyway, but I never used to even pick up dresses that I knew I couldn't wear a bra with because I knew I wouldn't be supported and I wouldn't feel comfortable. I'd tried boob tapes in the past and they just hadn't worked. It was very much just like it stuck on, didn't really do much. It was probably made a little bit more for a smaller chest, which is absolutely fine, but it just didn't work for me. So I used to be a fashion buyer, and when I was out in China, I found this boob tape that actually worked, and we found it randomly on a market, and I've tweaked it since, but I used it for myself for years. Didn't ever think of anything else. I just got myself a supply, got the contact, and just kept buying like 2 rolls at a time for me. And then it was my best friend that said, if you're struggling, Beth, there's going to be so many other girls that are struggling. Why don't you just try and sell it? So I ordered 80 rolls and they sold out in 2 hours.
So tell us how you, right, wow. So
Yeah.
tell us first of all, how you came about selling them. Like, where did you sell them?
So we started on TikTok Shop and that was our main avenue of sales. We did have a website, but it wasn't really what we pushed. We were more of a different type of brand where I started it purely on TikTok. We had an Instagram, but it wasn't our main priority. Where I think a lot of brands at that time had Instagram and were dabbling into TikTok, where we put all our, put all our focus on TikTok. So TikTok Shop was where it began. We were one of the first brands really to utilise the platform, and it really just flew from there, and every restock we had would sell out quicker and quicker each time, and it's still not stopped.
And didn't you say at the time you were trying to establish Boosted, you were interested in how TikTok Shop worked more as a service to provide your clients who you were providing marketing consultancy support for?
I went freelance a few months before I even started Boosted, and that was going to be my career then. I used to work for social media for companies, and I thought if I go freelance, I've got a bit more flexibility. So I wanted to offer TikTok as a service, but I didn't know how it fully worked. So I thought, if I start something on there, at this point I wasn't thinking boosters, it was just thinking if I start something on there, I can learn how it works from the brand side. I shop on there, so then I know it from a consumer side. So I thought, I can't pitch my services to clients if I've not done it myself. How are they going to trust me if I can't show this is what happens? So then that's why we started with Boosted being on TikTok, because that was meant to just be a little side project that gave me a bit of like experience for clients to go and push out to clients, and that's what I'd done for so many months after. Like I did do it for other customers, I did do it for other clients and other brands, and Boosted was never in my mind that it was going to be this full-time big brand. It was meant to be a stepping stone to get me bigger clients, and it just kind of snowballed. And then one day I had to say to clients, I can't do it anymore. I'm going to have to let go.
So when these 80 rolls sold out in 2 hours, just talk us through how that process works, because obviously that presumably was quite unexpected for you.
Yeah.
How quickly can you roll with the demand and getting more stock, and where did you work from?
I think everyone's dream would be to have a viral video and a viral product, but they don't actually talk about the negative side of it. I ran out of stock, and I was like, but what if another brand that have quicker turnarounds can now come out before I restock? And what if customers get bored of waiting? So we sold the 80 rolls out in 2 hours, and that was even a big challenge in itself at this point. I didn't have a printer, I didn't have a label printer. I had to go to my local every drop-off shop and print the labels off in the middle of the shop, sit on the floor of the shop, writing people's names on the package and then sticking the labels on and then giving it to the local shop to scan. So my whole life, my mum, my dad done it all with me. My friends helped me. I'd done everything from my bedroom to where it grew into my mum and dad's bedroom. My poor dad had boob tape stacked up that high next to his bed for months. And it's hard, like getting that demand was scary. I had to then like express ship the next load of stock over, which ate into my margins. Right. And that was something I never thought. When I priced the product, I wanted it to be affordable, but at that point I wasn't thinking I'm going to have to become VAT registered when I hit this level. I'm going to have to start paying this. This is going to have to start paying out. Shipping's going to increase because it's Black Friday soon. Like none of that was in my brain because it was never going to be this big. So getting the stock in quick enough was the hardest part. And I had to like compromise on stuff like packaging and just have to do it a bit more at home style because there wasn't time to get the boxes printed and then it come, and then that margin got eaten into, so I couldn't afford the boxes for it to come in. So then I ended up just putting stickers on them.
So did you pay for all of this out of the profits of the, how did you have an investment at the start, or how did it come about?
My nana passed away in COVID and she gave me £1,000 and she said, £500, use it on something sensible, but the other £500, I want you to take a risk. I want you to do something that, I've always been an anxious person. She was like, I just want you to live, Beth. Like, just do something risky. Oh. If you lose that £500, you'll lose it, but just do something. And like her words stuck to me, and I had it in my bank for ages and I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know whether to do this like wild holiday, do like something. And I thought that £500 paid for that stock.
That 80 rolls.
Yeah, and a little bit for packaging and labels, but that £500 paid for that stock.
So everything else then, when you had to reorder all the rest of your stock to keep up with the demand, is it that 500 quid that's just grown and grown and grown?
I've not put any more money in.
Oh my goodness.
I did for little things where then I've got it back, like I've lent myself money to bring it back, but yeah, that £500 just kept multiplying and multiplying. And I was quite good with my money. Like I'd done the website myself, done the logo myself, sourced everything. I didn't outsource anything. I'd done everything by myself. So I think sometimes it's really easy to think, I need a photographer, I need this, I need that. And it just eats into money. So I literally just got the money from what I sold, put it back in. And like I sold out of 80 rolls and I could have ordered hundreds, but I didn't. I just ordered like another 100.
Yeah.
Seeing if that sold out. Ordered another 100 and then let the quantities go bigger. I think it's so easy to think there's so much demand for this, I'm going to buy thousands now. But I didn't know that people wanted it yet. I knew that them 80 people did, but 80 out of millions of people is not that much really. So I think I really did walk before I could run. I slowly done it. I could have very easily just got an office, got a unit, done
when
all
you say
of this
slowly
stuff.
done it.
I mean,
we are only talking a couple of years.
Yeah, I just let it grow.
Organically
more than spending thousands on stuff that might not have worked.
So tell us about the next surprise that came in terms of the approach from a big brand.
So we launched on PrettyLittleThing within 6 months of us being a brand, which is crazy to think about it. We spoke to them for a while. We came back and forth with them about how it would work, because payment terms of something I've never heard of. Like, I never worked at that side of buying. So a lot of big retailers will receive your stock and then pay within, sometimes it's 160 days, sometimes it's, and that was the biggest challenge, because I had to buy that stock, send it to them, and then wait for the money.
Yeah.
And then they wanted more before they even paid for the last load.
Right.
So that's the cash flow aspect that I wasn't expecting. And I think it's a dream to be in a retailer. It really is. But it's hard to be in a retailer at the same time when you are small and you haven't got a big cash flow. But it was the best thing that we ever done. It was the biggest risk that I'd done for the brand. It could have shut us down. Like, if it didn't work and they had all that stock and they never ordered again, it could have shut us down. But it was the best thing we've done. We reached so many more people by being on PrettyLittleThing. It was a shop that I used to shop on when I was young, and to see it on there was crazy. I ordered it myself from PrettyLittleThing, so I had it in a PrettyLittleThing bag, and we've reached so many more people. We were in the advent calendar this Christmas. They're still ordering. They've actually just put an order in today. Like, it's a good platform to be on, because they are. Fast fashion has a really bad negative view at the minute, but the people that shop on there shop regularly and they're loyal to that brand. So they now become loyal to our brand because they know us through that. So it was the best thing we ever done, but it was scary at the time. And just watching, like, and speaking to these people that are, like, I applied for a job at PrettyLittleThing after uni and got turned back. And then I was like, I'm now in meetings with the buyer for PrettyLittleThing.
That's mental. So are you still working out of your mum and dad's bedroom?
No. Thankfully, I'm absolutely not. We moved into an office with a shared, with another brand, like a small office to start, so we could split all the costs. Then me and that other brand, they're a cosmetics brand, we then moved to a unit, like a bigger unit, still splitting all the bills. And then we both grew at a level. So we went our separate ways. We still do talk, but I've now got a unit in Aintree that we're now even outgrowing that. It looked massive when we got it.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, it's very pink. It's very boosted. You can come in and see us. Like, it's got like a shop front as well as having like the warehouse side of stuff. But scarily, we've only been there a year and we're growing out of that already.
And how big's your team now?
We are a team of 3 as of last week. So very new. So I've got Molly that works for me, who's doing a lot of the retail side of stuff and planning, and she plans my life because I'm very hectic. And then we have Eleanor that's just started, who's going to be our social girl, who's going to, now I've got more businessy side stuff responsibility. I haven't got as much time to just spend on content, and I don't want to lose the customer attention. I don't want to lose their appreciation for us, and I want the content to always be quite organic. So yeah, we've now got a social girl as well.
Oh my goodness. So let me ask you then about going back a bit to when you were sort of 16 or so. What did 16-year-old Beth aspire to do? Was it owning a business?
Definitely not. I have been shy my whole life. I have only child syndrome. Like, I was so shy. I used to hide behind my mum in supermarkets if she bumped into someone she knew. Like, I was so shy. And I'm from a really loud family. Like, my mum's one of like 8, my dad's one of 4, like 5. So I'm from a loud family, and it's very easy to be shy in that type of family because people talk for you.
Yeah.
Like, it's a loud environment. If you don't shout in my family, you don't get heard. And I just wasn't a shouter. So I just stayed quiet. So I knew I wanted to work in fashion. I loved Ugly Betty, the TV show, and I loved Sex and the City. And I knew I wanted to work in fashion, but they were both journalists, and writing isn't my strongest skill. So I went to college after school, and college was the best thing I ever done because I wasn't academic in school. I wasn't naughty. I was chatty because I knew couldn't do it. So I just chat to my mates. And it wasn't the right environment for me. Like, exams freaked me out. It made my anxiety get worse. And I'd know if you would have asked me to do something in class, I would have got an A, but putting it on a piece of paper in an exam wouldn't have got anywhere. So I'd done a BTEC A-levels in college with it was called 3D design, but we'd done like visual merchandising, art, creative, anything like that. Moved on to uni where I'd done fashion promotion and marketing. And it opens up jobs you don't even know exist, because if you're not in the industry, you don't know they're there.
Yeah.
All I could see from Ugly Betty was these journalists going into this big fashion meeting. Like, there was nothing to tell you what the other jobs of people around them was. So that opens up like social media jobs, marketing jobs. And I did love the course. And I remember thinking, there's so many people that go to uni and go, oh, I hate uni. Well, you're going to hate the job, because uni is just training you for the job.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I really threw myself into it. There was no exams. Your dissertation was only a small percentage of what your course was. And uni was the best time that I'd done. I drove to Preston because I'm still a home bird. I didn't want to live anywhere else. But I loved uni and I loved doing it. And I won a Graduate Fashion Week award at uni, and everything that came from it. Like, you meet so many people, like they do industry days, you go to London, you do all these different things. And I just soaked up everything that I could get out of it, because I thought, if I'm paying £9,000, I'm taking everything I can get from this experience. And I've made some friends now. You forget, like, when you're applying for jobs after uni, you're looking for who you might know. But then people that you're going to know in 5 years' time are in your uni class. That we're all going into the industry.
Yeah.
So, like, there's girls in my uni class that work for massive brands now, and we know them, and I can speak to them. And it was the best thing that I ever done, was go out my comfort zone. I think if no one would have pushed me, like my mum and dad pushed me, I would have just done A-levels, stayed at home, not really done anything that I didn't know, done what my friends were doing, because I was very much that type of person. And my mum and dad pushed me and said, if you don't go out your comfort zone now, you'll regret it.
Oh my God.
And it was the best thing I ever done.
Oh, so tell me then, what's next for Boosted then? Where do you go from here? I mean, it's been a whirlwind couple of years, hasn't it? Do you even have time to think about what's next?
I said last year, I'm going to make a 5-year plan, and we're going to plan out what we want. The first week of January, the biggest thing that ever could have happened to us. And it was out of the blue, and it was not in the plan. Well, it was going to be in the plan, but like in 4 years down the line. And I don't think we can plan with the speed that it grows. We can definitely get a little bit more structured and a little bit more planned in a sense of the word. But what worked for us at the minute and since the start is just winging it. It's worked. Like, it has. Like, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But if you go in and you act as if it's faking it till you make it. If you tell someone you know what you're doing, they're going to believe you. But if you go in going, oh, I don't think this is going to be this, I don't think this is going to do this, then no one's going to have trust in you.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to really work on I know what I'm doing. I've built this brand. I know what my customer wants. And I've got a really good relationship with my customers. They speak to me like, me and my friends laugh like they do. I get flashed on a daily basis when we're out. Girls go, I've got Boosted on, and just lift the top up in toilets on nights out. And they feel like they know me, and it's nice. Like, people come into the unit and they go, hiya, Beth, and I've never met them. And it's trusting that process and keeping that relationship. No matter what size we get as a business, I want people to know that they can come and speak to whoever it is behind the Instagram, still feel like they're talking to me, still approach me in toilets if you want to. But it's that part that I want to keep. And I think that's what could be hard when you get bigger and you get bigger teams. That's why I'm really particular who I let into the brand, because I want it to always have that feeling.
Yeah.
But a lot's happening at Boosted at the minute.
And are you able to talk about any of that?
Not right now.
No, okay.
We can soon.
You've got some exciting news breaking later in the year, have you? Which hopefully we'll be able to share with
I'll tell you in a moment.
Thank
and then we'll pop it on in September.
Okay. So I always ask all my guests, what's your bit so far? What's been your biggest highs, your biggest lows, and your biggest wish I'd known, really? So what would you say? You've touched on a few that I imagine would be up there, like ordering your product again in a PrettyLittleThing bag. What would stand out as your biggest high so far?
My biggest high is when people come up to me or message me and say, like, you've changed how I think about my body, or it works and I feel like I can do this, I feel like I can do that. Because I needed that when I was younger. I hated my body. When I say hated it, I know hate is a strong word, and it's true. I wanted to change everything, because when I was younger, and I think it's coming back into fashion and I don't like it, the skinny girl was in. It was the Paris Hilton era where everyone was tiny. And I had boobs and a bum and a different body, and there was no way I could have changed that. But in my head, when you're young, you think you can. Like, I like how people now come up to me and say, oh, I can wear that outfit now, or I feel comfortable in that. And you've changed my perception of fashion. Like,
Wow.
And I think that's always going to be my biggest high. No matter what big retailer we ever go into, I think hearing from the customer is going to be always that bit. I think, yeah, it's worth it. Like them sleepless nights was actually worth it.
Knowing that the confidence you're given to people to embrace their curves, basically.
I'm kind of the girl that I needed when I was younger.
Oh, that's
and
lovely.
I think I don't want anyone to grow up with the feeling of their own body the way I did. And I think it's not talked about enough because the Kardashians came into fashion and then everyone wanted big bums and people shamed skinny people. Like we can have a range of people in fashion at the moment, and it's like I've got skinny friends who go, people say I'm skinny all the time and it's an insult and people think they're being nice to me. And I'm like, yeah, you don't really see it from both ends.
Yeah.
So I just think having a range of different body shapes, like you can wear us if you've got no boobs and it makes you look like you have. So it's not just that we're promoting curvy girls, we're promoting skinny girls as well. Like everyone has a place. And I think not enough fashion brands, they either target curve or skinny. And I think it's fine to be a bit of everything.
Absolutely. And what would you say your low has been?
We've had a few. I think I was quite naive at the beginning and I trusted people that maybe I shouldn't have trusted. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't ever want to ever see the bad in someone from the minute I meet someone. I don't want that part of my personality. But we went through a bit of a legal battle. But I have saw the positive to come out of it. It was hard. I did want to just shut the brand down and run away and never look at it again.
Oh.
And I think I shared it on socials as well, and I think that helped. Like people build you back up, and people don't just want to see the highs and the happy and the us winning all the time on socials. They want to see a bit of everything. That was definitely a low, and I think you're going to have lows because otherwise, if you don't, the highs will never feel as happy. If everything's just really clean sailing, you're never going to really appreciate it. It made me a lot stronger. I'm not as naive anymore. I'm more of a business owner now, more than just, oh, this kind of just happened. I think you learn things along the way from your lows.
Do you think you learn more from your lows than you do from your highs?
Yeah, because I think you've got adrenaline on your highs. And like when we launched on PrettyLittleThing, I can't remember it.
Yeah. Because
I think your adrenaline's like there and you're in fight or flight and you're excited and you want to tell everyone. But I think I learn more from the nights when we're sat in the unit till like 10, 11 o'clock at night trying to figure something out because something's happening. And I'll always refer back to that. If things feel tough, I think, no, do you know what, I've got through that now. This isn't even half as bad. So yeah.
So it's having that mindset of thinking, well, actually it's difficult, but it's probably where I'm doing my most learning.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. And what would you say you wish I'd known would be?
1,000,001 things. I wish I'd known about more business side of stuff, and I do really, in the future, I would love to be able to do like some form of, not even a school, but just some form of information for business owners, because you started from watching these girls on socials smashing it. And I think it has become a trend to say the real things that happen as well. I wish I'd known about tax. I wish I'd known about business. I wish I'd known about cash flow. But I just wish I'd known it would have worked, because at the beginning, I didn't know it was going to work and I didn't have that confidence. And if I could tell Beth 2.5 years ago what she's doing now, she'd be like, no, she's not. Don't be stupid. And I wish I'd known that it would work, and I wish I'd done it sooner.
Wow.
Because for years I'd used it by myself and no one knew it even existed. And these people have wanted it.
So if you were thinking back to 16-year-old Beth, what would your advice be to her?
Just calm down. I was so anxious about everything, and my life was the easiest it's ever been back then.
Yeah.
Like, just enjoy it. Like, I would go on a night out with my best friends who are still my best friends now, and I wouldn't enjoy it because I'd be fixing my dress all night, looking in the mirror to make sure I didn't look fat anymore, and I wouldn't enjoy it. And now I go out with my friends and we have the best time ever, and no one looks at you. Like, I feel like I was so naive to thinking that everyone would go, oh my God, look at her over there. No one even notices you're there if you're just with your mates having a nice time. I would like to just tell her just to chill out, have a minute and just enjoy it a bit more.
Oh, Beth, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed our chat, and I cannot wait to find out what your big news is. And I'll share it. I know,
I've been holding it in for so long. Molly's over there and she glares at me every time I go to tell someone.
Well, we'll keep it a secret. Thank you so much. It's lovely to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Feel free to follow us on our handle @Agnes Marketing on Instagram and LinkedIn. Thank you.